Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. This is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Normally when I do videos, they're kind of fun and there's a good takeaway and we may have a laugh, and then there's a takeaway, a positive message of, you guys stay happy out there and keep fighting the good fight. This story, however, there is no good takeaway. This is just holy crap. I can't believe this stuff exists, and this is a PSA, a public service announcement. Because in the past, I would have said, hey, you know something? I think as long as you get a DNA test and you've been, hey, someone tells you you're a dad and you say, what? I always recommend getting a DNA test. And believe it or not, I even say now, even if you're married, unless things are, I don't know, I just think, me personally, I think a DNA test should be done after every birth. But it's actually illegal in a lot of countries like France and some of the states. I think it's Kentucky here in the United States. They've made it illegal. Why? Because that means the government has to become dad and not some poor guy that has to pay child maintenance or child support. So they really frown upon doing this in many cases. So and so to do it on every birth, they're just not pushing for it. I think it should be done because every mother knows it's hers, but every dad doesn't know it's his. So this was a post on Reddit, and I kind of ran down a rabbit hole. Speaking of tests, a rabbit hole. And here it is, fakednatest.com. Now, what makes this so frightening is it's not the fact that you can just get, someone can just get a fake test, but the fact that they will redirect you towards their real DNA company, which they don't mention what it is. But they will redirect you to a real DNA company. So if you try to contact them, you will be calling the real DNA company, and they have the results of the DNA test that was fake. So from what I can tell, and I'm going to read this and tell me if you guys agree with this, it sounds like you fill this out, that you send it to a company, they will make a fake report and then send it to their real company, and then that real company is the front. So if you try to contact them to see if it's a legit result, they say yes, and it's yes from a real company. So let me read down through this, and we'll see what I'm talking about here. It says fake DNA test. Get a fully verified fake DNA test report proving you have taken a real DNA test. You choose the names and the results. We send you a fully verified report within 1 business hour. The fake DNA test report is emailed from a local and real DNA testing company. If your partner contacts the real company, our team will confirm the DNA test results. We are sure they will believe you. We have nationwide real DNA companies in the following countries: UK, Ireland, US, Canada. Now, they gave 2 phone numbers here. I was actually going to ask one of my female viewers to call in for me and see if they could, but I called in. Both rang. But unfortunately, here in the U.S., it was after 6 p.m., and I don't know what time that is in the U.K., but it's a weekend, so maybe they were closed. But both rang through to real numbers. They say 100% money-back guarantee, no link between real and fake DNA testing company. Our analytical DNA reports are 3 to 4 pages and replicate a real report. The local company branding and contact details are on the fake DNA test results. So they apparently will send fake results. I don't know if they swap them or what they do, and then send them to a real lab so that the information you get that you are daddy, or I think a couple of guys have sent in to do this to say that they're not daddy when they really are. Either way is kind of nasty business. $60 US. And here's they do a DNA sample collection. Listen to this. In order to make your DNA test as realistic as possible, we recommend that you collect DNA samples from the child and alleged father. Once your payment has been processed, you will be redirected to the sample collection guide of our Real DNA Company website, which details how to collect samples. The guide explains several methods of collection, including the cheek swabs, saliva samples, nails, and hair. Now get this, the sample can be taken with or without the father being present. So I guess she could say she got your nail clippings or your hair. Good luck getting my hair, I'll tell you that. And here's the Q&A. So basically, and again, I'll read through this quickly, and then I have a story to get to where this actually happened to a dude, but she made the documents instead of it coming from a reputable lab. I'll be honest, I'd probably fall for this if I saw it came from a real lab. And she said, oh, you were sleeping and I got some of your spit, or I trimmed some of your beard hair off when you were sleeping. Like, I'd be like, it comes from a real DNA company. And if you call that company, they say, yes, this is the results. So now you have to take your own test because you can't even believe someone else's test. They say clients have used our service to trick their friends and to believe that they're the secret love child of Sir Elton John. Try to make a joke out of this. The client provides feedback and a great story, blah, blah, blah. Fake DNA test PDF. They will send you a PDF with the results, including if you've misspelled a name. Now, listen to some of these questions here. Will it have contact information if the daddy decide to call and see if the information is real, and does it look real? And the reply from the admin, it certainly does. We do everything in our power to ensure the results and process is as realistic as possible. Next, is the results printable? Yes, they are. Why do you ask for the father's date of birth? We do it so it looks legit. Can I get a negative test result if I'm trying not to be a child's parent? Yes, this is possible. Simply click on the results as no negative. So this goes both ways. So this can be sneaky either way, but I by the questions and by the forums that I've seen this on, it is vastly the women that are using this. How does the post come? All reports are sent in PDF format by email, so it doesn't come through the mail. Will it mention anything about being a fake DNA test? Hi, Deanna. Our reports and websites do not mention it's a fake. The service paperwork and websites are truly authentic with no reference to it being a fake or imitation. What else do they say here? Can you do different dates so it's believed to be taken 6 months ago or any other date? Yes, certainly. Just put in special instructions. What else do they have here? You can pay through PayPal or other directions. Will you guys be able to send results without us doing swabs and sending samples in? Yes, certainly. And then they go through, you can even change the race of the kid. I'm just completely blown away. Now, and I'll wrap it up with this. Here's a story that this guy, this happened to him, but the woman made the fake DNA test, and he didn't look into it too deeply, but he had some doubts, and he took some real ones and found out he wasn't the real dad. But the thing is, would he have bothered to check if it came from a legitimate, or what he thought was a legitimate DNA test lab, where you can pick up the phone and verify with a real lab that these are the results, and a real lab says yes? That is incredibly frightening to me. I would have never thought that what I thought was a legit test would have come back as fake, and a real test wasn't really done, especially if it came from a real lab. So Danielle Morris and a guy named Jamie Summers, so I guess he's a performer, and he does I guess he does some sort of performance. Anyway, the 29-year-old forged a DNA test and even had the singer and entertainer's name written on the child's birth certificate as part of the con. Jamie also got a foot-long tattoo on his arm, and the reason why I haven't shown the headline is because I'm going to go back to that at the very end, because there's a little surprise waiting for you. Jamie also got a foot-long tattoo on his arm of his supposed daughter Darcy's name, date, and birth. The 29-year-old admitted to 2 counts of fraud last Monday, reports the Liverpool Echo. The 11-month con saw her daughter, Darcy Lily Morris Summers, stay with her dad for 3 days and 3 nights every week. In a victim impact statement read to our Liverpool Crown Court, prosecutor Keith Sutton said, Danielle Morris has acted in the most cruel way possible. She made me a daddy. She made my mom and dad grandparents. She shattered us with her lies. She sold her child to make money. Danielle Morris took my trust, my dignity, my love, and my heart. Describing Danielle's behavior as conniving and disgusting, he added, I will live in agony for the rest of my life. He did the right thing. The guy says, hey, I messed up, but I'm going to do the right thing. And I'm going to be dad to her. And so he had her christened. He took on the role of dad. He gave gifts, child maintenance. He looked after her for 3 days and 3 nights every week, feeding her, bathing her, putting her to bed. If you think this is your daughter, you are falling in love with this 3-year-old. And then it's just taken away from you. Now, maybe the love isn't taken away from you, but it's all based around a lie. And I don't even know at that point, I mean, he's technically a stranger. Is he still on the hook for child maintenance? In some places, yeah, the guy can still be on the hook for child maintenance. But in the same token, it's also sometimes found out that, well, you're not really related to it, so you have no rights to the child. So the guy can be held accountable for the payments to the child, but not for the rearing and the loving of the child. I mean, talk about taking someone's life and ruining it. Jamie, let me see if, she presented a DNA paternity test from form by Danielle, which stated it was 99.6% likely he was the father. He said he was very happy with the news. He decided to play as full a part as he could in the upbringing of the child. He had a room at his house to be used as the child's room. Months passed after repeatedly asking Danielle to see the DNA test result document. Summers undertook a test himself, which ruled him out as being the father. The court heard how Danielle was boasting while telling her friends, "This is the Jamie Summers show. I'm going to take him for everything that he's got." Now imagine hearing that, thinking this is your child and your life is just shredded at this point. And at 41, a lot of guys that do want to have kids say, well, it was an accident, but you know what? I'm going to be a dad. And I'll wrap it up with this. Of course, she says she's terribly sorry. And, she says, it's a very sad situation and I'm genuinely remorseful. Yeah, she's genuinely remorseful now that she's been caught, because she certainly didn't come out and be remorseful while she was getting those checks and he was playing part-time dad. They got a restraining order against her, and here's how long, and I'll leave the story down below if you want to read all the details. Here's how long she got for 2 counts of fraud and paternity and all the rest, and basically ruining this guy's life. You ready? 1 year, 12 months. That's it. 12 months. So, you think that the court system's maligned and against guys, and they let women out on a free pass. I mean, as a matter of fact, there was a story about a guy that was kind of dining and dashing, where he'd go on dates with girls, and when it was time for the check, he dashed. Yeah, he got a felony charge for that. He got more time than she got for this. I don't know, man. No justice in the world. So guys, if you're in a situation, and I could even say women too, hey, make sure that you are in control of the test and do it together. And if you have your doubts, don't take the word of somebody handing you a test, because it may be a fake one. There is no lengths to what some people won't do to bilk you out of your money and to really ruin your life. Guys, if you'd like to support my work, links are below as always. If you have, thank you so much. And the best way you can support me is like, comment, share, subscribe, and check out my older videos. I'll leave it there. This is Better Bachelor. I'm Joker. And remember, guess what? You can't even believe the tests now. Now you have to get your own test. And if you get your own test and you're not that person and you're the her, she has to get a test. Everybody, tests for everybody. Lots of tests. 5 tests. You got to make sure it's legit.